right, all right. So, again, still on this conversation about how do we unclog our open drains. I tell people that open drains are the most viable for Nigeria, and if you see this drain, you can see clearly it's not the trash keeping it from flowing. It's silt. Look at this right now. This is silt, aka sand or yepe for those who speak that language, right? So it's sand stopping this portion from moving down here. It's silt. This portion is moving. Why? There is no silt. It's not trash. There is trash here, but it's flowing. It's silt. I do not like to link up on issues, but I just thought I should show that here and get back to my business. This is Agege, by the way, so I'm sure some of you already have an idea of where this place is. It's silt. We need to de-silt, and this is the same thing that it's basic geography, really. African rivers are silty, so if African rivers are silty, then African land will be silty, it will be sandy, rather, right? And of course, if African land is sandy, oh, my voice is lower than the noise. Oh, okay, so I'll take out my headphone. Thank you very much. All right, so as I was saying, the road is I was saying, just walking down this road, and I observed this very simple phenomenon that we've talked about over time, that basically shows that the reason why water doesn't flow is silt. You all remember that whenever they clear your drains, what do you bring out of it? It's sand or silt or whatever you want to call it. It's not, by the way, someone is urinating on the express, Nigerians. Anyway, so you see that it's not flowing because of the sand. It's not refusing to flow because of the trash. There is trash, and that's bad, but it's not the trash. Your problem is not the trash. Your problem is the silt, right? African rivers are silty, those of you who did geography, right? So look at that. It's not flowing. It will not flow. Look at that portion. It will not flow because of the silt. Look at this portion. It is flowing. There is trash, but it's flowing. The moment silt accumulates here, it will stop flowing. That's the way it works, and that's all I thought I should share with us. It's just basic common sense, basic physics, fluid mechanics, and all of those friction, jabba jabba, thoughts for those of you who did physics. And that's why they say school is not scam. School is not scam, right? So I'm just showing to us that this side, for example, is not flowing, and if you can stay with me, I'll show you that portion. This side is obviously not flowing as well. There is heavy silting at the end of this portion, right? So it's silt. It's the reason why our rivers, why our waterways are very expensive to run. It's silt, right? Again, I will repeat what I've said till you get bored. But African rivers are silty. African roads, African lands are sandy. The rain comes, blows all of the sand into the water, and that becomes silt, right? And that's the reason why all of these aren't flowing. And so when it rains heavily, it will overflow. The way forward is very simple. You need local governments, not the state government. State government can support, but the local governments, you need your local government to take charge of cleaning out the silt. You know, we do this normally in Nigeria. Sometimes we see that just down the road, just because of my speed, I don't know how I can get there, but just down the road, you will see where they've cleared out all the silt from these drains about, I think they did it around July, if I'm around February or so, and it's back in. So we take out all of the sand and it comes back in. So you need to work on that first of all. Then yes, you need to raise them above the ground, like they did in like they've done in certain places. I think Lagos State government has done that. Used to do that under Governor Fashola in his designs. I'm not sure his designs or the roads done by Mr. Sanwo-Olu have captured that. But again, look at it. It's sand. It's all sand. You can see why it's not blue. It's the sand. It cannot be anything else. It has to be. See this. See this. That is your problem. Your problem is, I mean, the people who are throwing trash are mad people. Don't get me wrong. I think they are mad people who throw trash on the road. But that's not the problem. And so when you are designing an estate, for example, those of you who are developers, you can create, what do you call these things? Look at this. Just look at that. Just sand. Just sand. So you can create sort of nets, gabion, sense, not gabion, it's not gabion, but something like a mesh to filter out the silt. That's the common sense solution to this. Other than that, well, you don't really have many options. Other than that, you don't really have many options. And of course, regular cleaning. So if you're doing cleaning maybe every 3 to 6 months, that's fine. Same thing for the waterways across the sea, the lagoons and the likes. You need to clean them maybe every 3 months, maybe every 6 months, whatever. But you just need to clean them. The water hyacinth, of course, is the biggest problem to water transportation in Africa, statistically known, right? So it's a similar problem all around. It's the same thing on River Niger, it's the same thing on River Ugo, it's the same thing on the rivers in the southeast, it's the same thing on the rivers in the north, Kaduna River and so forth, right? So this portion is clean, as you can see. And why do we have so many sandy rivers? Basically, it's the Atlantic. Yeah, I said the Atlantic. Sorry, it's the desert sand. So this is more of a geography lesson. I don't know if I want to enter geography lesson, but in simple English, the Atlantic is filled with sand, and did I say Atlantic? Sorry, the Sahara. Sorry, the Sahara is filled with sand. The Sahara blows all of that sand to the rivers up north, the River Niger and so on and so forth. So that's one. Then of course there's weathering, constant weathering of rocks and all of the kinds of rivers we have in Africa are such that have that tendency due also to our climate, right? So it's basically geography. It's the way our land was designed, right? So every other country has their own disadvantages. This is our own disadvantage. The disadvantage of our own land, right? So we cannot avoid silt in African rivers. Of course, these are part of the things that bring silt. See someone building, these are obviously things that bring silt into water. So that's the factor, but that's not the main thing. So as you can see, there are portions of this place moving. There are portions that are stagnant. We have gotten again here to another portion that is stagnant, and you will be able to see what I'm talking about when we get to the end of the road. Let these guys allow us to move. Yeah, so it's blocked again. And what's blocking it? Yes, sand everywhere. Sand everywhere. That's what blocks all of these things. Okay, so you can see an example here. So they packed it up here. You can see this here, for example. You see? So they took it all out of here and voila, clogged drain at the gate of the estate. So these are the things that lead to these things, and it's everywhere. It's further down this road, and maybe I will make another video on it at some other time. But I just thought I should show us the things that lead to these problems, so that for those who are developers, of course, you can filter them out, and of course you should always clear them. But you are not clearing them for trash. You are punishing those who are. Don't get me wrong. People who throw trash should be punished. People who throw trash into drains should be punished. I think we are very weak as a nation in punishing bad behavior and incentivizing good behavior. So people who throw trash, I want to see them punished. I cannot be keeping trash. I have trash in my pocket right now. I will show you. So it's not that I'm saying. I have trash in my pocket. See? I have biscuit trash in my pocket. I have another one in the lower pocket. No, I think I disposed that one where I went. So I have trash in my pocket. But somebody else will say, oh no, I'm going to take that trash and throw it into the gutter or wherever. That doesn't make sense, right? So we should punish those who do those things, and we should incentivize. I mean, people like us who do well should be encouraged. However, that does not change the fact. No, so look at this. The drain in this estate is fine it's fine in front, but down here the water is beginning to gather because of the silt that is around the gate. So if I live in this estate, I'm a resident here, but the exos are interesting people. But I think if I had my way, I would ask them to clear it regularly rather than wait for their connections in government to clear it for them. Well, it doesn't clog anyway, and it never overflows, so they don't see it as a problem. I'm the one who is thinking of it as a problem. So you can see it's free here. So yeah, we should punish those who throw away trash indiscriminately, and we should encourage those who do the right thing. That is a fact. But sand and silt is a bigger problem. Among other things, obviously, there are a few other things that we've mentioned in previous videos. People building on. You just picture this. Imagine someone building a house on the middle of this. What happens? If someone builds a house on this channel, what happens? Automatically, the water goes here or goes the other way. In fact, it will go the other way because this is a valley. So what will happen to that place? You see, a small fish pond will gather. So these are the things, and yeah, I think I've spoken enough. Thank you to everyone who has watched this. That'll be all.